Today on Ranger Auto, we have a Project Betty video, which is our 91 Buick LeSabre. We got us a dashboard cover for it over the weekend, and we're going to show you how to change it in case you have one of these. So this, I think, is an H-body car from 86 to 91, all Buicks, and I think some Oldsmobiles too did this. So everything you see that's got a vent in it, that's the upper dashboard cover. And so I'm going to show you how to take that apart in case you have to get in there for some reason. And we're going to put a new cover on because that one is in some pretty bad shape. So we're going to do that today. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is make sure we have the proper tools. So on the donor car, I used a 7mm socket and a T10 Torx bit, looks like that, and a pair of pliers. You'll see what the pliers are for in just a minute. So let me go grab my pliers and we'll get started. So where there's a need for me to close up with you, I'll grab the camera and show you. You can pretty much see everything from your vantage point. So I'm going to start on the passenger side and work my way to the driver's side. If your parking brake works, you are going to need it because when we get ready to pull the dashboard top up and away, if you've got tilt wheel, put it all the way down and put your gear shifter, I believe neutral is good enough. I'll show you here when we get to it. So let's start off by getting all the vents pulled. Be careful when you pull these vents out. And I'll show them to you as we go along so that you understand how they function. Alright, so we're going to start over on the passenger side. Alright, so get your tools in a nice neat place where you can get to them quickly. You're going to take your vent and you're just going to kind of squeeze it in here and just pull out on it like that. See, they have little retainers right there, so when they go back in, they just push back in. I think they might even have top and bottom on them, but I believe they go like that. You want the little tab things facing up. I'm gonna have to clean my vents off. Apparently my pliers have grease on them. And then there's two screws in here. All right, we're gonna grab this one. We're gonna pull this one out. All right, that one's come out. We'll pull this one out. Sometimes they'll come out easy, and sometimes you gotta fight with them, but don't pull on them real hard. I don't know if they're breakable, but I'm pretty sure they are, being that they're plastic. And in each one of these is a screw we got to take out. You just grab your vent and just kind of pull it out. There we go. This one wants to be a little bit difficult, so we're going to be gentle with it. We're going to just kind of tug on it a little bit here, make sure we can get it to come out. We got to get to those screws back there. Alright, in the event you have a problem like this, I think we can hit that with a 90-degree pick. Let me go grab one. Alright, let me see if we can get that out with the pick. Get inside here where that clip is, and you just kind of find the side of it and you just pull back on it, and it should disengage like that. Be careful though not to break them. Remember, like I've already said, tab sides up. Alright, while we're on this side, why don't we go ahead and take these bolts out. The reason you got the T10 bit is because you may have some difficulty getting the ones out of the windshield area. And these usually come out pretty easily. Be careful not to lose these screws. You're going to need to put these back. So we'll take that screw out, set it on the floor. I got extras in case I needed them. Alright, and then you want to get up on the top. There's one over here in the corner. There's one right here, and then there's one in the middle. You got to kind of look through the windshield to get to them. Alright, so things got a little creative just now. Apparently that shrank a lot further than I thought it did. So to get the top screw out, I had to get the biggest drill bit I got and cut into this thing. I had to pick it up so I could see where the screw was. I'm hoping I don't have to do the same for the center, but most likely I will. The center feels like it's about off target as well. Yeah. There's the center screw right there. I can see if we can get that one. Might be alright. See if we can get that center screw. Hopefully yours isn't as bad as this. Make sure you got a magnet nearby too to get your screws. Alright, that one came out okay. Take your magnet, reach down in here and grab your screw back out. I'll show you what these screws look like here as soon as I get this one out, in case you're wondering why I got the T10. Alright, so these screws, they have a T10 center in them. I don't know if you can see it too well. And then of course it's got your hex bolt. In the event that you can't get it out one way, they give you an option to get it out the second way. So we got that one out, so we can get these 4 out in the center here. Make sure you put your screws in the same location so that you don't have to worry about it. We'll just leave this ridiculously long extension on here just because. Set your screws down wherever you can get to them. Now there's also some screws underneath the panel too we got to pull up. Yeah, be careful where you put your screws, that way you don't lose them. There's, I think, 4 or 5 along the top. And then you got a bunch inside here. Now this piece is interchangeable with all H bodies. So if you have like a Park Avenue and you're trying to turn it into a LeSabre, you can use it. Or if you got a LeSabre and you're trying to turn it into a Park Avenue or a Regal or what other vehicles they had back in the day, you can change this panel out. This panel here was used in all of them. See, it just comes right out. We got 2 more screws on that side, and then this front piece comes out. This side piece here, here's your vents off your driver's side. Set them down. Clean out all your dead foam while you're at it. Alright, let's move to the other side. Oh, I think there's another screw down in there. Yep, there is. There's another screw over here next to where the Twilight Sentinel is. So we're not done over here yet. We gotta locate this screw, which is way over here. So I'll show you how we get that out. We're gonna have to get the drill out. We're going to have to pull this dash pad back like we did before. Peel it back. Locate your screw and see if you can reach it without having to cut up the dashboard. And the short answer is no. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see if we can get it. Yeah, we got it. We can get it. By the way, this is also how you change out your speakers too, because in these vehicles, if they don't have the door mounted speaker, then they have dash mounted speakers. Also, if you have 6-way speakers, which is premium sound, you're going to have, oh, that's nice. You're going to have speakers up here too. I got to recover both my socket and the screw. That's always nice. There's our socket, which goes back on our ratchet system here, our nut runner. Can't get the screw out, you can leave it in there and you can grab it when you get the dashboard out. Alright, so moving on, let's get to the passenger side and get the passenger side done. Alright, so we got the three, we got one here and one in the corner. Let me see if I can locate those. Those should be right in the neighborhood. Let's see. Now, if you're wondering how I'm able to pick this up, you're not supposed to pick this up. You're not supposed to be able to lift this panel up off the plastic. This car sat, well, this car is a Northern New York car, as you probably know, if you've been following the channel for a minute. You know, temperatures don't get that hot in Northern New York. Well, this set closed up for 3 years in South Carolina, and they get blazing hot down there. And GM, up to this very day, used the cheapest materials possible because they're only out for aesthetics. And those of us that have worked on these enough know this is the truth. Don't let nobody fool you. Well, the materials are great as long as you keep them within a certain temperature range. After which they will either expand or they will shrink. Anybody who's ever owned a late 90s, early 2000s Pontiac Grand Am knows that one probably all too well. You got the curl dash, you know what I'm talking about. Or had a car that had the curl dash, you know what I'm talking about. So this car, the dash kind of shrank. It's starting to curl. We're going to have to drill this side out too from the looks of it. Let's get our socket back out from our dashboard here. If I can get my socket. Oh, you. Oh, crap. I got to get our socket back. And then I got to run the drill through it. We got to get our socket to line up, or we got to get our... This thing's not wanting to give me back my socket. Alright, fine. Let's try not to hit the socket when we drill it out. I'm not hitting the plastic, I'm only hitting the top of the dashboard. You have to open up the hole so that you can access the bolt because your dashboard shrank. Unless it wants to fight you like this one does. Get my socket back out of this car. Let me see if I can get it from the side with my... See if I can do it this way. There we go. Got our socket back. Now sometimes you can look through the windshield and see where you got to go with these. This part's delicate because you don't want to poke your speaker. Alright, it's over there. Alright, we're going to have to open it up some more. Hi, little boy. Our shop kitties come to visit. Alright, we got top of the dashboard loose. So as long as we got top of the dashboard loose, we can leave the screw in place. We'll just unscrew the two remaining front vent screws. And then you got, I think, 5 or 6 screws in the bottom. And then this, we can turn the key on and put the car down in neutral. And we'll make sure we set the parking brake or put a brick behind the wheel so it doesn't roll away on us. And then we'll pick this dashboard up and off. And then I need to feed my shop cat. So, those of you that haven't seen the shop cat, go check out the video on Project Rusty where we were working on the tachometer. He comes to visit about this time every day. So now on some of these, you're going to have extra accessories through here like lights or something like that. So just kind of be mindful of that. Also, you're going to have electrical behind the dashboard. You may even have vent ducting behind the dashboard. So it's a good idea to take this panel out like this and see if you have any ducting up in here. Like I got some ducting right here we got to take care of. So we're going to have to do something with that. Because we got that duct right there, we got to take care of it real quick. I don't need that getting broke. It's important. This is what the dashboard looks like when you get the cover off of it. Now there is a climate control thing up here. I think we can get it without having to do a whole lot of damage. We also have a light under here we need to take account for too. Might have to look on the other dashboard and see if we have a provision for that. If we don't, we're going to have to make one. So, alright, so now your dashboard is going to come up and away. So what we got to do now is we got to make sure we don't break nothing. So let me go get everything secured and then we'll go ahead and we'll pull this back. Alright, here we go, folks. Here we go, folks. We're going to turn our key on. It's going to ding, 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 but there's nothing I can do about it. So I don't get copyright stricken. Alright, so you're going to put your tilt wheel all the way down. Gear shift goes down, lowest you can go. And then we're going to pick this thing up and lift it forward. Now you have lights and stuff in here. You want to slide those lights out. I think these are held in by push tabs. Because we got a light for our dashboard over here, we got to get this light moved. I think the best way we're going to do that is just to see, we can push these little push tabs out and then that light falls down. Alright, so that's how that comes out. Light falls down over here by your dashboard. Over here by your light switch. Alright. If you've got Twilight Sentinel, you're going to have a sun load sensor sitting right in the middle here. You're going to have a wire. Take your finger, pull back and lift up on the wire and that'll disconnect the Sentinel. I don't have that, so we don't have to worry about it. Alright, we do have the AC system though, so we got a snorkel tube over here we got to deal with. So bring your dash forward, and then you're going to see this snorkel tube. We need to unbolt it from this dashboard. So that's where we're going to take this. There's 2 screws in the back. You just take those screws out. You might have a little bit of, you might have to use a ratchet on that. Yeah, we're going to probably have to use a ratchet on that. Alright, so I'm going to go grab my ratchet and we'll take those 2 screws out and then we can pull this dash panel off. Yeah, you got 2 screws up in here that take this little snorkel tube off. And you got to take these 2 screws out so that you can get this snorkel tube off of here. set these screws over to the side so you don't lose them. Be careful with these. Try not to break anything. And take this piece and let it drop, and then you can pull this out. And you'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. And take this piece off. There's your dashboard top. That's what it looks like when you pull your dashboard apart. And that's it, folks. That's how you get your dashboard off. At this point, you can change out your speakers. They sit up in the top. Let me bring you up front so you can see what we're looking at here, because I know it's a little hard to see back there. Let me bring you up front. All right, so this is what your dashboard looks like when you take your top off. This here is a thermistor. This is for your heater control. This here is a module. You've got your defroster vents up here that don't work right if your dashboard's curled up. So one of the reasons we're doing this is so I can drive this in the wintertime too. That's your speaker right there. Your other speaker is over there. If you have to change out dash lights, you're got a screw there, there, and there, and over there. That's for your headlights illumination right there. And that's it, really. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to do some cleanup, put this back together, and I'll see you on the next one. If you have any questions or anything, comment down below. One thing to take note of, these are slotted, but as you'll see when you take it apart, the slots are irrelevant. So that's about it, really. Yeah, if you have anything, just let me know. And we'll see you on the next one.